In this class, we are going to discuss about the basics of participatory rural appraisal. Participatory rural appraisal is one of the techniques used for collecting information on community resources and needs for use in community development programs. The techniques include use of transect walks, map, calendar, matrix, and diagram using locally available materials. PRA is a label which has been attached to a growing family of approaches and methods which enable local people to make their own appraisal, analysis, and plans to share information, to act, and to monitor, to evaluate actions and the programs. PRA is both attitude and a methodology. It is one of the tools for surveying that helps outsiders to understand the village systems, dynamics, and politics by using various techniques, as well as method of direct observation and discussion. These method of techniques often produce interesting and authentic information of the village and same time useful insight also gained. PRA is a form of approaches, methods and behavior to enable people share, enhance and analyze of life and condition and to plan, act and monitor and evaluate. Participatory. Participatory, people involved in this process. People participation play a vital role to carry out the program. Rural. The target group of this exercise is rural or urban, literate or illiterate. Appraisal. The technique involves collecting information about the problems, requirements and potential in the village. It is the initial step in PRA exercise. Why extension needs PRA? Top-down extension is no longer sufficient for the type of extension problems being faced in Indian agriculture. Farmers and rural communities face complex problems like resource degradation, disease, pest control, conservation, farming techniques, and farmers-driven marketing activity. The traditional extension approach of diffusion of innovation may not apply to many of these complex long-term problems. Farmers often find it difficult to understand research recommendation because they cannot see the relevance in the context of their own farms. It is increasingly important for researchers and extension workers to understand ways in which farmers perceive problems. The ways to do this collaboratively are slow to develop and require skill and determination. Farmers often adopt and improve research findings to suit their particular conditions, but often researchers are not aware and so do not benefit from such feedback. While most farmers face a problem of too much information, the widening gap between research and development, funds are scarce and the research and development organization wish their findings to be more effectively communicated. Why PRA used? To know the current scenario of the village, to assess the various facilities existing in the village, to identify the needs of the people and to find out the changes take place in the village. Here some of the characteristics of PRA are flexible in nature, face-to-face interaction, group discussion, people knowledge is respected, empowering people, developing participation, social interaction and participation. The main theme of PRA, focus on rural communities, often alternate for marginal areas, systemize rural participation, uses of audio-visual aids and group discussion helps rural community to see resource management plans and integrate social sectors and organization. Scope of PRA. PRA is used to find our needs, to set up priorities for growth activities within the scope and feasibility studies, during the implementation phase of projects, monitoring and evaluation of projects, for studies of specific topics, for focusing formal survey on essential aspects and identifying conflicting group interest. Steps in carrying out PRA. Site selection and situation analysis. Sites of PRA are chosen jointly by the community members and the development workers like experts, scientists, non-governmental organizations, extension officers or government officials. After selection of sites, the rural situation, natural resources and their interrelationship with the people are analyzed to gain basic knowledge about the study area. Primary visit and discussion. PRA team generally comprises of 4 to 6 specialists, of which at least half are technical officers. The team meets with village leader before starting a PRA exercise to clarify with PRA will do as well as what it can be do and what yet to be done in the village. Data collection. In addition to findings about existing projects, institution and government service and existing secondary sources information, PRA techniques namely direct observation, conversation, workshop and discussion group, transact walk, mapping, modeling, matrix ranking, wealth ranking, diagramming and indigenous technical knowledge may generate required data. Data synthesis and analysis. The PRA team and villages meet together to rank the listed problems. The outcome is a set of problems that village groups, technical officers, NGOs and sometimes external groups also involved in PRA exercise. Ranking opportunities. Opportunities that can address each problem are identified. Opportunities that are available for the highest priority problem and then ranked. Criteria for ranking include equity, productivity, sustainability and feasibility. Preparing the village resource management plan and community action plan. The highest priority solution are organized into village resource mapping, which takes in the form of contact between village groups, technical officer, NGO representatives and sometimes external groups. Implementations. Once the VRMP and CAP are complete, it is time to implement them. In general, the actual work will be performed mainly by the community members only under the technical guidance from the technical experts. Follow-up and evaluation. Necessary follow-up action and evaluation is the ongoing completed development work as planned earlier, done to seek the continuity of the purpose. Advantages of PRA. The context of the data is as important as the data itself. Key variables and questioning of interest exist in the environment, which is important to observe. Learning takes place in the field as you go, and it comes as much from what local people know and do as from physical and biological phenomena. It also happens when the research team expresses what they have observed and compares it with what people perceptions. Rapid rural appraisal avoids the problem of development, tourism and windscreen surveys, superficial surveys and foray into the field. PRA provides a rural briefing for the increasingly urban non-farm background agriculture scientist, a cultural orientation and reminder that agriculture knowledge also resides within the local people and the history and the method. PRA generates qualitative data which requires special technique for collection, analysis and interpretation. Such data should not be underrated in comparison with quantitative data development of insights, not numbers, in the aim of the game. Learning from and within the community is stressed. Listening skill are stressed over telling. Complex problems involving people or the land are not ignored or controlled out by experimental and problem solving investigations. Other examples such as mobilization of community, analysis of problem with people, more focus on village based priorities, rural folk participation, monitoring and follow up project, cost and inexpensive implementation. Disadvantages. Lack of availability of specialists in various disciplines may be a problem. Lack of facilities like transport, accommodation, equipment like AV, audiovisual aids. Lack of financial support to conduct the program. Areas of application of PRA: agriculture and allied activities, poverty alleviation program, health and nutrition, women and development programs, primary education, village and district level planning, research work, extension and social work, and natural resource management. Probable result of PRA program: art of listening, art of negotiation, confidence building, conflict management, develop skill of joint effort, developing art of creative thinking, effective decision making, how to get feedback, lifelike experience, managing relationship, money management, observe problem, personality development, practicing method, self-management, time management, understanding the real life problems, understanding the prevailing situation, understanding situation of recommended technology, working of local institution and working with local organizations and leaders. Rural agriculture work experience program is closely associated with participatory rural appraisal. Youth are powerful force in empowering any country. Youth can become part of major area of interest for the development of any nations. agriculture is the prime area of attention and interest to develop India. Besides powerful agriculture research and effective adoption, creation of powerful human resources to manage such agriculture development tasks is a most important need of our nation. Agriculture education is an important tool in ensuring increased agriculture productivity, sustainability, environment and ecological security, profitability, job security and equity. Pragmatic learning is the fundamental move towards problem solving, in which learning is for improving interaction with the outside world. The learning process imparts a direction to the students to think and act, which creates self-confidence. Self-confidence is the key in experimental learning, which primarily trains the students at different phases. It offers the direction to the students to develop their competence, capability and ability. Capacity building, acquiring skill and expertise, also the personality development. However, it requires interest of an individual with total commitment and involvement, participation, reception, active interest, dedication, hard work, curiosity, vision and reception and mission. Under the changing dynamics of economical and industrial growth, agriculture has to undergo changes with new approaches. Therefore, experimental system in agriculture has strong potential for imparting better training of the agriculture technologies with high level of skill in combination with the modern outlook and management capacity. Agriculture education is a dynamic one which is undergo change in a very rapid manner to meet the need of the society. The students of agriculture are learning as well as basic and applied issues of science and technology. However, they do not possess adequate self-confidence in starting own commercial farming. Under this situation, rural agriculture work experience is an important competence and confidence building program actively introduced in many agriculture universities in India. In India, Rantau Committee in 1992 recommended the Rural Agriculture Work Experience Program for imperative quality, practical and productive oriented education for the agriculture degree program. The World Bank in 1995 stated that there was little emphasis in the curriculum on preparing the agriculture graduates for better career in agriculture and agribusiness outside government projects. Therefore, the agenda 21st century in agriculture education getting done, practical training during higher education towards self-employment. It provides significant hands-on experience in acquiring skills which are mainly aimed at creating a product or providing a service or those who demand. The program is for providing work experience to the students in rural setting. In fact, experimental learning is exactly what the name implies, learning from work experience. The experimental approach is learner-centered approach and also allows an individual students to manage and share responsibility for his learning and with his teachers and hosts. Effective work experience training strategies incorporating rural agriculture experimental learning approaches provide opportunities for your students of the last year to engage in the field work activity and draw some useful conclusions, decisions from their analysis and apply the result in actual practical life and field situation. Objective of Rural Agriculture Work Experience Program: to develop an understanding of rural community life in the different situation prevailing in villages with special reference to agriculture and home science. To inform students with the socio-economic conditions of farmers and their problems with reference to agriculture development. To provide an opportunity to the students for practical training in crop production through work experience. To develop communication skill among students using extension teaching method in transfer of technology. To develop the understanding regarding agriculture technologies being followed by farmers and to prepare alternate farm plans to suit the local situation in consultation with the farmers. To develop confidence and competence in students for solving problems related to agriculture. To acquire the students with ongoing thrust of rural development and programs related to transfer of technology. To make students understand the role of men and women in agriculture and allied activities. To explore and to develop understanding regarding high-tech agriculture technology and factor affecting the adoption of modern method of agriculture by the farmers. To explore the awareness, understanding and skill among the students with special reference to scientific model of integrated agroforestry, animal husbandry, fisheries, poultry, dairy, agro-based industries, processing, marketing, etc. To develop the techniques how among the students for preparing and develop for practice through collection of data based on grassroots level for rural areas. Students are also practically exposed to the research methodologies, including experimental techniques, arrangement, management, and collection and processing of experimental data. Various exposure for practical training. Orientation program of students or teachers. This phase will help them introduce rural agriculture work experience program to the faculty and the students and sensitize them towards the change attitude required in the whole program. Stay at Agriculture Research Station, Krishi Vigyan Kendra. The visit helps to understand what is going on at the research and training center, need today farmers and the role of training and researchers. Stay with high-tech cell. This will help the students to conversate to work with the modern gadgets like computer and other machines. Stay with farm families in village. It provides real touch of rural atmosphere so that the students plan their future career accordingly. Stay with non-governmental organizations. This will help them to know the issues based on organization and make to be committed to the rural masses and to the profession. Educational tool. It gives various types of exposure of the facts of life with pleasure. Stay at agro-based industries and cooperatives. This phase helps students to understand and meaning and nature of existing cooperative and how to be entrepreneurs through the agro-based business. The rural agriculture works experience is learner-centered approach of exposing students of agriculture college and other universities by using principles of learning and doing and seeing and believing is to provide direction to think and act on their own. It offers occurs to develop students to learn how to become a competent, confident, capable, skillful and able to do work in real life situation. This experiential system in agriculture education has to be a strong potential to prepare better agriculture technocrats. Students, please note some of the practical tips to be followed while conducting PRA techniques. Do not concentrate with one person in dialogue. Bring all the participants. Do not repeat the same question. Rephrase if not understood. Do not rush. Let the villagers flow in their expression. Do not limit yourself in planned structure. Discuss the things suited to situation. Do not ask closed type questions. Ask open-ended questions. Listen. Do not lecture the villagers. Start with question how to draw a village map. Let the villagers draw it. Write things only after confirming it with the villagers. Put your paper on place where everybody could see. Let me conclude. Participatory rural appraisal is basically an intensive activity of understanding all aspects of village life in a short span of time. It provides an alternate framework for data collection and analysis. Because of this participatory nature, it is a useful methodology to focus attention on people, their livelihood and their interrelationship with socio-economical and ecological factors. It is a combination of different approaches to share, enhance and plan and action. Hope you all understood the basics of participatory rural appraisal. In next class, we will discuss about the tools and techniques of participatory rural appraisal. Thank you.